Okay, this is part 2 of DCP settings. This is Game Maker. This is what you use to build the game, and in my case, edit the game. This is the debug log. I'll show you what that looks like in full. And so it's saying writing audio files. This is why this is part of why DCP doesn't come with the game audio files. Obviously, there would be some potential legal issues if I was distributing the game music, but also every file has to be converted on compile, so that would take forever. If I oh, hang on, why is that there? Yeah, that would take forever if I was using the game music in my compiled version of Deadbolt while I'm debugging and running things. This is all sort of boilerplate game maker stuff. This is what you always see in the debug log. It shows you a list of all of my subscribe workshop levels, and then normal game maker stuff. This is all the objects, and everything in square brackets is me. So it's just going through things. It's checking I think that's checking global config. Yeah, that looks right. Seeing what's set. And then here is where it checks for sprites to see if you're using any custom sprites. Now, this used to be, each section was about that long, but since I added Reaper sprites, everything is super long. But yeah, if you're testing, if you're using custom sprites, then you can enable debug logging, which is which is possible from here. So you just use that string, and oh wait, I thought Steam was already running. Here it is. All right, cool. Manage no properties, maybe. Launch options. You just paste it there. If you do, be sure to delete it because the file isn't overwritten. That probably shouldn't be there. You can't see anything right now. Let's move that over there for now. Yeah, the file is added to, and that just shows you all this stuff. If you don't have VS Code, which is fantastic, by the way, if you don't have VS Code, then you can paste it into Notepad++, and you don't get the full color icons in Notepad++, but you know, it's not too bad. Be sure to disable word wrap. I think you can maybe use this in Notepad. Yeah, okay, it's not too bad. Yeah. It doesn't do a very good job of telling you what things are because none of the icons are colored. Same with Notepad++. Okay, where were we? I was gonna aim to keep this a short one because the last one was like 40 minutes, and already I'm going on all these tangents. But it's cool. The old delay. Well, it's loading. Oh, I can probably show you what it's doing. Oh, fuck. No, I can't because it's frozen. Alright, well, I was doing all this stuff. This is where it's getting the Steam authors, so this is all me stuff. And then if you go further up, this is the logging. This detailed logging is me, but basically it's going through your entire list of subscribed items. That's why it freezes. I kind of covered that last time, and I don't know why I went into load custom. Okay, new options. Made the pink a bit less obnoxious. I might remove the pink altogether. We'll see. And we'll also fix the extra black part that was here. Also, at long last, you've got the CRT effect back, which is fantastic. It makes it feel like a proper game. Proper text, better text. It's not just like machine code, computer readable variable names. So we got up to, I think we got up to, was it weapons? Sprites we've done, weapons. Bullets pass through dead body parts. Melee input buffering, okay. Oh, that's why I went into the custom. Alright. So what that does is, normally you have to, doesn't work well with the knife, but you have to finish, in this case, you'd have to finish stabbing before you can stab again. Now, I run into an issue with the sickle where let's get up custom level, okay. I don't have anything unlocked. Let's just spawn it. Yeah. So what's different about the sickle? You can smash faster. You can slash faster. So you'd have to time your slashes very carefully to be able to slash continuously, i.e. Which was kind of tricky to do, and it really broke the flow of gameplay. So if I do 3 quick taps, tap, 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 you can see after my third tap, the input was buffered, as in it was sort of added to a queue. So the game said, oh, okay, the player has pressed the button. We haven't finished attacking yet, so we'll attack at the next available opportunity. And this works to a lesser extent with other melee weapons like the hammer. It's much less noticeable than with the sickle. So let's turn it off and see what happens. It's under weapons, maybe buffering. So again, I'll do tap, tap, tap. And he only attacks twice, which is rubbish. it really it really breaks the flow of things. What's next? Weapons, melee input buffering, headhunter, bullet refund. I feel like maybe I covered that. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Okay, so let's spawn a headhunter, which is revolver 2, maybe. Revenant. No, it's not that one. Oh, hang on. I can just make all the weapons appear on my trunk, obviously, and that is custom local because it only works for custom local levels. Trunk is always open, and just enable all these. Trunk isn't open. Oh, maybe because I set the options after. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Oh, that's wrong. Sorry about that. There we go. Maybe if I do that. Is that better? Yeah, okay, cool. And then if I exit full screen. Alright, cool. Now you're properly seeing my desktop, which is good. Cool. So what were we doing? Oh yeah, you might have noticed I died and the settings saved, so that's a new thing. In the current build, your settings actually save. There is a minor disadvantage to that, but I'll come to that afterwards. So, Headhunter. Notice it's only got 3 bullets because balance. Cool. So, excuse me. Now we can refund our ammo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I talked about this last time. Okay, yeah. The TLDW is this was a cut mechanic using the object bullet refund. Next. And I think it should work that if I revert that, refund, I should get, yeah. Oh, okay, it works immediately. That's good. Shit. Let's turn the volume down. I don't know if it's as loud for you guys as it is for me. Apologies if it is. If it was. Next, we've got SMG laser sight colors. That one's an easy one to know what it does. Check SMG. So you've got nothing, and then we've got a light, and we've got a headshot, and we've got a body shot. Super cool, super easy. Next, scythe ability. That's the such a cool thing, such a lovely thing to be able to add back to the game. Okay. Damn it. Timing is tricky. It is hard to get because of that delay. Oh, wait. Okay, that's odd. It should have saved my choices, but whatever. Because of that, I think I said it was 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Yes! There we go. Alright, cool. And if I enable the... What was it? Where was it? It was... There was an option. Oh, indicators, I think it was. Indicators... Oh, shit, man. I have no idea. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it's here. There's an option that shows you a countdown for when the enemy is about to fire. I don't know. Anyway, that's that option. Next, weapons, put a deflect, sickle, auto pickup. Yep, that's an easy one. That just makes it so that whenever you throw the sickle and then walk over it, you automatically pick it up as you do with ammo. Boom. And this was another favorite that I added that makes for very fast gameplay. Yeah, as few button presses as possible really on this one. Sound when side deflect is ready. What that does is, oh, if I deflect, oh, is it not enabled? And there we go. You should hear a, I think game audio is coming through. You should hear a ding, that little ting. That tells you when you can deflect again. So yeah, it's not worth enabling in general, but it'll probably help you get your timing down if you first start using the deflect. Oops. Next, music requires JSON edit. Yeah, so a few of these things, options that aren't booleans, as in true or false, that shouldn't be there, but whatever. So before you had to edit the JSON file to be able to change them, and that's still the case. I'll probably, maybe at a later date, make it so that you can edit these options from the menu, but for now it requires editing the JSON. Now, the issue there is by default the JSON looks like this, which is beautiful. But now, because our GameMaker doesn't pretty print, which is what this looks like, doesn't pretty print whenever it saves JSON, you get JSON that is all squished, which basically looks like this, which is bad. So if you need to edit it, you can pop it into the JSON validator, and that'll pretty print your code for you. If you have VS Code, then you can make sure the language is set to JSON, which is down here, or you can press Ctrl+P and then choose JSON. and then you can press Shift Alt and F to format. Okay, what's next? Workshop pass. Yeah, that's another one that requires JSON editing. This is all a little bit ugly at the moment because the actual option, which starts from here, it looks like it's part of the rest. So I'll probably make it so that this part here, for example, is grey. Or just remove it. I don't know. I like that it has prominence. I like the visibility of it, so you can check your edited JSON. You can see if your settings have been read. But the big plan really is to make it so that you can, but if you want to change your sprite, so that you can just click on one of these things and change the sprites that way. So there would be like a separate menu that says like select sprites, and then you would be able to select which workshop file you want to use for Reaper sprites, for zombie sprites, for each individual character. It's kind of a big thing. I mean, it's a big little thing. You know, the code is sort of already there, but I think the next step for me to figure out is how do I want to make it so that the game knows that it's a sprite file, because otherwise it'll just show empty for all the files. So I'm thinking like special file called sprites.json, and in that file you can list what character or characters your sprite affects or your sprites affect. I don't know. It's a whole thing that you know, I try not to think about problems until I'm solving them, because otherwise you just get locked into you get your headspace locked into the theoretical, and you don't really end up doing much of anything. So yeah, I'll solve that problem later. Where are we up to? Workshop paths. Debug log. These only have an effect if you are using debug logging, which I showed earlier. By default, only that one's enabled. What next? I suppose I could talk about what these do. That logs all the items from your trunk. Excuse me. That logs, I don't know, custom level. I think that logs what I showed earlier. That long, yeah, I think that logs all this stuff. So this shouldn't be showing, I guess. I don't know. This logs whenever a custom sprite is applied in a level, but it only happens once, because the logging is actually in the draw event. And the draw event happens once every step of the game. And as this is a 60 FPS game, that means 60 steps per second. So you would have a lot of duplicates. Your log will quickly fill up, so it only logs once. Sprite setup, that's on. That does the thing with the colored emojis and all that stuff, all that jazz. What this means, has frames, means that the code is set up so that it knows that there are replaceable frames. So if we scroll down to, say, let's go zombie 1, he has frames for walk. None of these, because these are all weapon specific. These are all added for Reaper only. It has frames for run, has frames for jump, and as you probably already know, non-Reaper characters don't have weapon specific sprites. They just have generic ones. I can show you what that looks like. What are we looking for? Zombie 1. Whole word only, no. So here's his sprites. His idle sprite, his jump sprite. And that looks like, oh, it's just the one frame there. Let's go for reload. I can skip through the frames. I can see his origin or his offset, which for all characters is the center, their very center. I can edit it. You would never really probably want to do this. I think Hopu said he edited sprites in GameMaker's own editor. I use Photoshop, which probably is not an ideal program for it, but you know, I'm a web developer, that's what I'm used to. So that's sprite editing. If you want to add a sprite, you just do that, and then let's see. I've got a new hard drive. I think I copied everything across to my new updater. Oh, there it is. Sprites. Oh, yeah, it's okay. So I would choose, because we're adding one frame, I would choose, yeah, that, and then boom, added. We don't want to save. If we did save, then a GameMaker would have to remake the texture page, which is that huge sort of, it's not a sprite sheet, it's just a texture page. It has to remake that, and for the editor, which is this, it doesn't take too long, like a few minutes, but for the game it takes, I don't know, it takes 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, get off. So yeah, that's why I like, whenever I want to add more sprites, whenever there are more sprites to add, I like to do them in bulk, because the texture page compiling takes forever. So I try and edit sprites as rarely as I possibly can. Even if you change their masks, which are basically their collision boxes, the masks require rebuilding the texture page, even if you change their origin, their offset. Okay, we're going on lots of tangents. Where are we up to? That's logging, and then experimental. Wait for full screen to work again. Okay. I don't remember what this does. Let's have a look. Oh, also, whenever you the global config saves whenever you change a thing, not as soon as you change a thing, but whenever you click back. So I might add in some text saying that or something. I don't know. That's for the future. So you want to go to local level. We're in experimental debug aim hovers. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. All right. Let's find out what it should be doing. Experimental. Close this. Debug aim hovers. That sets this aim hover. Mouse draw if aim hover. So what's this doing? In the OP, as in the player draw event, a lot of stuff happens in OP. These are all of his events. Create, which just sets his default variables, such as his default weapon and stuff. Oops. That's debug logging. That would be, oh, this is where it's reading from custom.json. It's checking the any custom properties that you've set and stuff, and custom weapons are set elsewhere here as well. So yeah, this is unrelated to the OP objects itself as you would experience it. It's just toggles debug with F2. Oh right, yeah, that's an old debug thing. That's vanilla debug. Press the 3 key, spawns a jukebox. Yeah, that's another old debug thing. Vanilla debug. So yeah, I suppose it makes sense that these are in OP, because if OP doesn't exist, as in if the player has just died or something, then you don't want to do certain things. Same with the OP control. Most of the stuff that's related to the player is in here, So if we look at the alarm, this is the fading out. Ban alpha sets the black fade out. Alarms they run every step as long as they are not -1. So there'll be code somewhere else that checks if banner alpha is 0 or 1, I can't remember, and if it is, then it'll go to the next level. It'll perform the transition that is queued up, unless you have the mod that disables fade out. And then there is code whenever that would happen, whenever the banner alpha check happens. It would be code to skip it, it wouldn't check that value. But the tangents. What are we doing? Oh yeah, seeing what the aim hover does. What that does is set circle. Is this actually doing anything? Let's see, OP draw. OP draw event. OP draw mouse saver. It should be doing something. I don't know. It doesn't do anything. From the code, what it should be doing is, oh, it could be that this is part of the old aiming system, maybe. Let's see if this is ever not -4. -4 means none, NOONE, which means no object ID. Every object has an ID whenever it's created in the game, whenever it's loaded into the game. So you might have seen that if you ever use the old P-Logic debug mode, or you might have noticed that every object has an instance ID from the hover text. So we'll just create him and he. Oh, okay. You want hover text? Let's just enable object ID. No, it's not the object ID, it's the ID. Okay, so we can see below green, below Y scale, the ID is 100. They always start at like 10,000, I think, and then go up from there. IDs always change because they're assigned to instances as they're created. So you can't rely on them to do any kind of code. That's why logic objects work in the way that they do, which is, let's see, if we do this, let's just copy this guy. Child is him, and we want to make another couple of him. Let's say the parent is him. So, what is that? We want to see all the extra stuff. Okay, let's just enable everything. So 2 below the green one, 2 below Y scale, we can see number 1 of 1, and far below that, where you can see the pink bits at the bottom, and you can see it say var1 is ozone1, and that's the name of the object for the child. var1 and var2 set the child. In this case, it's ozone1, and then var2 sets the number. So how many times has an instance of ozone1 been placed? 0, 1. So it's 1. And if we go further down, we've got zombie boss 2 and the second instance. So that's, we can't rely on IDs, we're relying on the instance number. If we change the parent to him, that should say 0, yeah. So that's what those numbers mean. What are we doing? Mouse hovers? I don't know. I don't know what it does. I can't remember. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think we said it's probably an old thing. Let's do for removal. A few of these things are due for removal. So what's next? Experimental teleport. Yeah, in general, if you ever enable debug logging, in general, the more lines there are for debug logging things, the longer it took to solve it or to do it. So this had its whole this has its own whole debug mode almost. Because yeah, getting him to be placed in the right place, that was a tricky thing. Oh shit! Didn't mean to do that. Fuck off. Yeah, that tells you, what does it tell you? How far away from different objects you are, I guess, basically. And then the purple is where you should appear, which shows normally. What is the blue? Ah, the blue line checks. That's how far down it checks. So that, yeah, that makes sense. You should like just. Oh, I know what it is. That's the next thing. Okay. Next one is animated teleport. This is pretty cool. This is probably a precursor to actual teleporting. Boom. So that should be showing. Game tab. Okay, let's restart, and that should clear that. No, it hasn't. Alright. Not everything will take effect immediately, I guess. Yeah, when the sprites are done for Ibzan, Ibi, then I'll be able to give him this teleporting ability. Might find a way to add it, like in vanilla. Maybe you've got a second object that takes up your slot. Probably with Blue Reaper, actually. Me and Shadow Moon have been talking about different things that he can do, things that he can do differently, because giving Vanilla Reaper a way to teleport and zip around the level is cool, but it's completely OP, you know, and it would break everything. So with Blue Reaper, we have this amazing new opportunity to give Reaper all of these different new features and abilities without breaking anything that exists, which is really cool and really exciting. I'm super hyped about the Blue Reaper project. What's next? Headshot indicators. This is an old thing. So one of them makes it so that you get a crosshair, and the other one makes it so that you always get a crosshair even if your cursor isn't literally over the head. Excuse me. And that's just that was another precursor to the line of sight colors. So it's only really there to remind me to move it. And I ended up not making this sort of an official feature because it's so ugly. Because a 1 pixel crosshair, that would be cool. But 2 pixels is just that each bar being 2 pixels wide or 2 pixels high. Doesn't really work. But it can't be 1 pixel because that's, you know, not how a crosshair would look. And we've already got that, so yeah, I couldn't really do a diagonal X. Next, animated teleport, Shambler blind fire. This was a cool thing. Somebody posted a GIF of show you of an in development somebody posted a GIF of an in development version of the Shambler where he's basically firing like a wild man, and I found that there is still code in the game that lets you do that. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's not going to do it. Did I enable it? Experimental Shambler. Oh, maybe I didn't click back. Maybe I pressed escape. Maybe I'll make it so that options save whenever you whenever you press escape. Let's double check that it's working. Yes, alright, cool. Should go down. Oh! Yeah, there it is. So we can't see you, he's just gonna fire and fire and fire infinitely. Which makes things very difficult. Shit! Shit! You can probably see why that was removed. It's ridiculous, but it's very fun to try and play with it enabled. Maybe I'll add it to the challenge menu. Another thing I'd like to add to challenges actually is make it so that there's no delay, so they see you and then they shoot right away, which does happen in some situations if they've already, in this guy's case, if he's already reloaded. I think that's everything. Yeah, cool. It didn't take 40 minutes. I don't know how long it took. A while. Bloody hell, 36 minutes. All right, it took a while. We went on some interesting tangents. I hope you had fun. So that's it. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.